Hi, my name is Jennifer Faulkner, Training Coordinator here at QuoteWerks. In this video, we will be going over the differences between section headers, heading lines, and summary lines and how they work together. Let's start off by going over the differences between the three of them and how they display to the customer in QuoteValet. A section header is used to display the heading of a section and will display a subtotal for the items under the heading as well. A heading line is essentially a section header without a subtotal and displays a bit differently on a quote. Lastly, a summary line is used to total up multiple matching line items in the document. Now I will go over how to add these headers and lines to your quote. On the Document Items tab, right-click anywhere on the quote workbook. From here, you can insert a section header, insert a heading, add a heading line, or a summary line. You can also go to Edit and select which one you would like to add as well. I will insert a section header first. QuoteWerks will ask you to name the section header. I am able to simply type the name of the section header, or I can use the F2 lookup for a saved customized list. This will help me save time. Just a reminder, this name is defaulted to be customer facing, so you want to make sure that it is a good description of what products or services are under that section. For my example, I'm going to put surveillance cameras and click OK to save. I will go ahead and add some cameras to my quote for my customer to choose from. Now I want to add some accessories for the camera, but I forgot to add a section header for my accessories. Instead of going back into the quote workbook, I can create a new section header under the Add Item Assistant window. I can click this drop down here and then add this item into an existing header or select Create New Section Header. I will type accessories, then click OK, then add. Now my item and section header have been added to the document. If I move items into a different section header, or move any of the section headers, it will then automatically update the subtotal of that specific header. Now let's add a heading line. Once right-clicking on the Document Items tab, I have two options for heading lines. Inserting a heading line will insert the heading at the top of the current selected item on the quote, while adding a heading line will add it to the bottom of your quote. I will click Add Heading, then type the name of my heading, or once again I can use the F2 lookup. For my example, I will put Good, Better, and Best. I am then able to drag and drop my heading lines to place them where I want on my document. Just as my section headers, I am able to create a heading line or add an item directly into a heading line when adding a product or service to the document. Lastly, I will add a summary line into my document. Right-click, Add Summary Line. This summary line has lots of settings. The first thing I am able to do on the Add New Summary Line window is change the description. Once again, if you have descriptions you use often, you are able to save them in a saved list in the F2 lookup window. You are also able to manually adjust on the drop-down list if you start typing, or directly on the quote workbook once it has been added to the quote. Next, you can either make a summary line from your line items in your document, or from the section headers on your document. For my first example, I'm going to make a summary line with line items. I have a few different options for what I can total up. If you don't see options that work for your company, you are able to use the custom line items as well. For my example, I want to add up the extended price. Then I can pick what kind of line item I want to pull from. In my example, I will select vendor, but take note that you are able to use the custom fields here. Then I can select what I want to add or not add to my summary by selecting equal to, not equal to, begins with, or contains. Then I will select my vendor. So in my case, I want my summary to only add up the extended price of the items that are equal to the vendor tech data. Then below it, I am able to add multiple vendors if I need. If you needed to add something else to the total outside of the extended price, or something not based off of the vendor, you are able to do so here. At the bottom of the section, you are able to pick what the total is multiplied by. For example, if the customer is set to have recurring payments, you can mark this as 1200% to display the annual commitment to the customer. I will click OK to save my changes and add this to the quote. Let's now add a summary line based off of a section header. I will right-click, Add Summary Line, then select Section Header. From here, I can mark what section header I want to total on the summary line, then what field it is pulling from. For my example, I'm going to make my line add up everything under the surveillance camera section and stick with the extended price as my field. Then lastly, just as the totaling option above, I am able to multiply it by a certain amount. For the summary line, I will make this my recurring payments line and mark this as multiplied by 1200%. Moving summary lines on the quote workbook will not adjust the subtotal for the line. However, if you make adjustments to the item or section that is pulling from, then it will automatically update the total. If you needed to make adjustments to this setting, it is as easy as right-clicking on the summary line, then edit summary line properties. Now let's take a look at the quote we just built in QuoteValet to see how it displays to the customer. For my quote, I gave the client the option to select which surveillance cameras they wish to purchase. Then the option to select the accessories they want as well. If you do give the customer the option to make the adjustments to the quote, this will update not only the total at the bottom, but also the section header totals and summary line totals. As you can see, section headers, heading lines, and summary lines are powerful tools to help organize your quotes for your customers. They may all do different things, but they work together to create a cohesive and professional quote. If you have any questions or need assistance, please contact our tech support team at 407-248-1481 extension 3 or email support directly at support@quoteworks.com. Thank you for watching.